As difficult and unnatural as it may be for us, we all need to accept that social distancing, wearing a mask, no handshakes and hugs when greeting others, avoid touching high-use surfaces, hand washing and sanitization are all part of the new normal of living with COVID-19.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is right. We all have to adjust with the times. We know it's difficult, but it must be done. Our Jamaica Magazine program continues with a word of advice. Stay with us.
You've asked for it, and now it's here. The Jamaica Information Service has updated its mobile app. It's easier to navigate, loads even faster than before, talking about top speed, operates seamlessly across platforms, and we're a creative bunch, so it's much easier on the eyes. Now you have quick and easy access to news stories, television and radio features, and a variety of photos right at your fingertips. And you'll get push notifications when new content is uploaded. Download the app on your Apple and Android devices now and get news you can use. Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica on the go.
Watch as the government provides some useful updates.
In keeping with the measures to gradually reopen the economy, there are other incremental steps being taken. As of Sunday, June 7, 2020, where a funeral service is being held, subject to social distancing and other health protocols, a maximum of 50 persons will be able to attend. If the venue can only hold 30 persons, for example, taking into account the social distancing requirement, then only 30 persons can attend. Even if the facility, by virtue of the physical distancing, that is the person to square footage, one person to 36 square feet, even if the facility, by virtue of that, could hold 100 persons for the funeral service, only 50 should be at the service. And let me just be clear, this is for the funeral service. This is not for the burial. So this is a funeral service alone. So for burials, that is at the graveside, the maximum of 15, of which no more than 10 may be mourners, has not been changed. Many requests to look at weddings, and that's another incremental step. So in terms of modifications to that order, the attendance at weddings, which will take effect also on Sunday, June 7, 2020, subject to social distancing and other health protocols at the selected venues, including a place of worship, a maximum of 50 persons will be able to attend a wedding. If the venue can only hold 30 persons, taking into account the social distancing requirement, then only 30 persons can attend.
Effect as of Sunday, all public beaches that are licensed under the Beach Control Act or otherwise will open from 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. No more than 10 persons at any time shall gather in any one area of the beach. The operators of these locations will not be permitted to provide any form of seating, but persons visiting the beach would be allowed to take their own personal chairs. The activities will be limited only to swimming, and there can be some jogging on the beach, but there is no provisions in the order for any social activities. So there shall be no beach party. So it is just for swimming and jogging, and we are restricting these activities which also include football, volleyball, dominoes, etc., those activities will not be permitted during the operating hours of the beach. Vendors shall not be permitted to walk the beach with items for sale. Bathroom facilities will be strictly enforced using the protocols that is outlined by the Ministry of Health. Rivers at times substitute for beaches, and we are putting in the same guideline and conditions. And the operating hours is between 6 to 8 p.m. Again, there will be no river parties. It is strictly for the purpose of domestic use, because most of the rivers are used for catching water, washing, fishing, and crossing. I want to emphasize that the orders that was extended as it relates to sport bars and places of amusement, nightclubs, is still in force. And this order also does not give the right for any water attractions to be open. All water attractions will remain closed.
As a result of feedback that we have been receiving, we have simplified the JAM COVID application process to have only one stage of approval. We previously had a two-stage approval process with a conditional approval and then a final approval. Therefore, anyone that was previously conditionally approved will automatically receive their travel authorization. The travel authorization is required in order for you to book your flight and also to be allowed to board the flight. We now have 4,100 applications that have been approved. These persons are now able to book any available flights and return to Jamaica. There are 2,729 applications for which we are awaiting the home quarantine assessment questions to be answered. We have sent out multiple email reminders asking for this information, and I am making a special appeal to those persons to provide it as soon as possible. The health and immigration authorities are not able to process your application without this information. We are working with the airlines to get flights scheduled as soon as possible. We have advised the airlines that we have the capacity to take up to 6 flights a day, 3 at each airport, 1 flight per day from the Caribbean, and 2 flights from North America or elsewhere, 1 in the morning and another in the evening.
We are committed to reopening in a safe and controlled manner to protect our most treasured asset, our people. We have developed several tools to protect our workers. The first line of protection we have put in place is a resilience corridor for tourism travel. Tourist movement in this area will be controlled, and they will not be allowed to leave the corridor. You will notice that the corridor essentially moves from Negril along the main road areas, east-northeast, along that highway all the way to Port Antonio, so that all the properties on the windward side, or the beach side, so to speak, would be embraced in that corridor. Businesses within the corridor will go through extensive training and will not be allowed to open until they have been assessed by TPDCO, which will happen in a phased manner. To guide businesses that are reopening, we have designed detailed operating protocols for each segment of the industry. So we have left nothing for chance here. From training to supplies to procedures, everything is covered in this document. In fact, the World Travel and Tourism Council, a global leader in the tourism industry, has reviewed and endorsed our protocol, with their stamp of approval. We have increased the staff complement of the TPDCO's Product Quality Control Department from 11 to 77 to ensure they have the proper capacity to take on this work in the prescribed areas. The ministry commenced training during this period, and indeed during the period when the closure was effected from March 10 on to today, some 5,000 tourism workers have completed training in a number of key skilled areas. I want to ensure that all our workers know exactly what they need to do, how to respond to the variety of different situations that they will encounter, and most importantly, I want them to be trained not just in their ordinary skills, but also in the skills of communicating and supporting emotional activities and developments that may happen around them while they are at work. As a next step, each business will be assessed by TPDCO to ensure they are compliant with the protocols and that the workers have been trained before they are allowed to open. If the assessment is successful by the TPDCO, they will receive a certificate, which I'm sure you're seeing on screen. And they will receive that certificate, which must be displayed properly in their establishment to indicate that their business is TPDCO protocol compliant. It is important to recognize that the support will not stop once the assessment is complete. The workers will receive ongoing training and the comfort of knowing the businesses that they are involved in while we monitor and ensure that there is ongoing compliance on the part of all. All workers will have access to an on-site trained COVID-19 safety point person and an on-site or on-call medical professional. This combination of resources will provide workers with the resources they need for quick health consultation, isolation, and testing if required. In addition, we are in a final stage discussion now with insurance and global logistics providers. They will also enable travelers who test positive to be quickly isolated and repatriated. This will help to reduce the strain on our public health system, making sure healthcare capacities that we know we have is consistent for our workers and for our communities.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe.
As we observe World Oceans Day 2020, we here in Jamaica join the call to protect 30% of our blue planet by the year 2030. This 30 by 30 agenda is critical in ensuring that we all enjoy a safe Earth. Watch how Jamaica seeks to take advantage of its marine resources while maintaining a healthy natural environment for all.
The seas call them home. Home. Where the northeast trade winds dance through the sounds of reggae, where the cockpit country shadows the world's fastest man, the vanguard of the Caribbean. The seas call them home, home to Jamaica. Jamaica is the third largest island in the Caribbean and the largest English-speaking island state, with the seventh largest natural harbor in the world, essential for a robust shipping industry. Jamaica also has the second largest transshipment hub in the Caribbean. These developments are driven by a commitment to honor the international maritime conventions that Jamaica has signed, establishing a maturing partnership with the International Maritime Organization, IMO. This 40-year partnership brings consistent advocacy for the maritime interests of Jamaica, the Caribbean and small island developing states, and the least developed countries. The seas carry them on, shaping an expansive and progressive maritime vision, fueling a structure and infrastructure of container, cruise and bulk cargo ports, maritime administration and ship registration, maritime education and training. This vision led to the expansion and upgrading of port facilities island-wide to capitalize on additional trade and larger ships accessing services through the newly expanded Panama Canal. The expansion positions Kingston as one of the region's major ports. The Port of Kingston is also equipped to offer a range of maritime logistical services, for example, operating as the regional hub for vehicles delivered to 23 destinations in Central America and the Caribbean. Through German Ship Repair Services Jamaica, the island also offers wet dock repair services and plans full ship repairs with a floating dry dock. Jamaica's commitment to a greener maritime environment guides its fuel diversification with the use of clean fuels, including natural gas. The prevention of maritime pollution is also integral in policy initiatives. As part of this thrust, Jamaica is now acceded to the Ballast Water Management Convention 2004 and is also the lead partnering country in the IMO's Global Ballast Partnerships Program. Bunkering is another key element of Jamaica's position as a major shipping center. We supply bunkers not only for vessels calling at Jamaican ports, including cruise ships, but also for those transiting across the wider Caribbean. Falmouth, Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, Port Antonio and Kingston, 5 cruise shipping ports, with the Falmouth Pier being purpose-built for the largest cruise ships in the world. These major cruise ports offer a full range of cruise passenger facilities and services. Awarded the world's leading cruise destination, Jamaica's unique attractions, diverse tourism and numerous recreational and cultural activities are equal sources of attraction for the creme de la creme of the seas, Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship and other major cruise lines. The seas sends them out. Seafarers and shipping staff trained in Jamaica for international service are key to Jamaica's success as a maritime state. The Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, is the sole IMO-recognized maritime training institution in the English-speaking Caribbean for the training of officers. The CMU is now poised to satisfy the region's demands in the expanding maritime and logistics sectors with the opening of 5 satellite campuses. Through partnership with the Technical Cooperation Division of the IMO, Jamaica helps countries in the region meet their obligations under the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. Jamaica has also chaired for 10 years at the IMO, the organ responsible for the international rules for standards of training for seafarers. Jamaica is committed to reducing substandard shipping in the Caribbean. To meet this objective, the island has hosted the Secretariat of the Caribbean Memorandum of Understanding on Port State Control, CMOU, since 2004. In addition, Jamaica is host to the International Seabed Authority. 25 states now have permanent missions to support the regulation and control of all mineral-related activities of the authority. Partnering with the IMO Program of Integration for Women in the Maritime Sector, Jamaica has helped to mobilize maritime women in the region and strengthened their contribution to the safety, security, and environmental protection of the maritime industry. Jamaica has also hosted the inaugural Regional Women in Maritime Association WEMAC conference. Its executive is led by a cohort of strong female leaders, including its first president, a Jamaican. The seas carry them through. Jamaica's long-standing advantages, highly developed shipping expertise, and a skilled and educated workforce has seen our maritime sector blossom into an invaluable resource for the Caribbean and the region. A maritime state, a maritime home, bridging the IMO with the Caribbean and the Americas.
Let's get together and feel alright.
Practice good hygiene by washing your hands frequently using soap and water. Here's how you should do it while conserving water. Turn on the tap to wet your hands, then turn off the pipe. Lather your hands and the tap with soap. Turn on the tap and wash your hands, back, front, and in between fingers. Use some of the water to wash off the tap, then turn it off. Dry your hands with disposable hand towels. If you don't have running water, use a hand rub containing 62% or more alcohol. If hand sanitizers are not available, rubbing alcohol, Dettol, white rum, or household bleach will do the trick. And if all else fails, let hand washing and the handling of potable water be a two-person event. Each person will take turns pouring and washing hands with sitting water. Now is a good time to consider installing a tap on your containers to reduce the risk of water contamination. Faucets can be easily attached to drums, buckets, or 5-gallon water bottles. And to ensure that the outside of the containers are clean when recapping, disinfect it with hand rub containing alcohol that's 62% or more. The 5 R's of water conservation are also necessary to practice. Reduce water wastage by investing in water-saving devices. Reuse water at least twice before discarding. Replace leaking pipes, faucets, and other plumbing equipment. Recycle wastewater and use it for gardening, car washing, or cleaning of public spaces. And reclaim water through rainwater harvesting. We all must play our part to ensure there's water to combat the coronavirus and stave off prolonged drought.
Whether COVID-19 positive or negative, we want to ensure that your body is equipped to put up a resistance. Watch how next.
The novel coronavirus 2019 or COVID-19 is a respiratory illness that may present with a fever, dry cough, and tiredness. Persons may experience more severe symptoms such as shortness of breath and difficulty breathing. One of the best ways to fight this disease is by boosting your body's immune system. Giving yourself a healthy head start could be the difference between life and death. As we look at how we can stave off or reduce the effects of COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses like this disease, we have compiled a list of ways to optimize the functioning of our immune system. First things first, get regular rest. Sleeping between 6 to 8 hours helps improve the body's immune function, mental health, and regulate weight while increasing productivity. Next up, exercise. Physical activity improves one's mood while increasing energy levels in the body. Managing stress is another weapon against sickness. When we are anxious, the body's disease-fighting defenses are reduced. Keep hydrated. Yes, the body doesn't function properly when it doesn't have enough fluids. You may maintain adequate water levels in your body by consuming water, fruits and vegetables with high water content, as well as soup. If you suffer from any health condition, be on top of your medication and stick to the management plan that's been decided on with your doctor. Another tip, you are what you eat. If you consume too much alcohol, sugary drinks, and processed foods, the body's defenses will lack the right micro and macronutrients to function properly. That's why it's absolutely important that we have a balanced diet. Incorporating items from all the food groups allow the body to glow, grow, and go. There are some foods, however, that are rich in vitamins and minerals which help to power up the body's natural immunity. Noted for its immune-boosting qualities, foods rich in vitamin C help the body produce white blood cells, which ward off or shorten the length of infections. Citrus fruits such as oranges, lemons, tangerines, lime, and grapefruit are rich in vitamin C. But even richer in the vitamin are cherries and red sweet pepper. Local fruits and vegetables such as Otaiti apple, guava, pineapple, papaya, June plum, soursop, cauliflower, cabbage, and Irish potato are also rich in vitamin C. As an antioxidant, vitamin E helps to prevent cell damage and regulate the function of one's immune system. Pear, peanut, olive oil, and almonds are among the foods with high vitamin E content. Foods with anti-inflammatory properties help treat respiratory illnesses, so it's best to add cinnamon, tomato, ginger, turmeric, flaxseed, strawberry, and garlic to your diet. Vitamin A is a key ingredient in the body's infection-fighting arsenal, as it helps with vision, repair, growth, and reproduction. In addition to spinach and kale, foods such as carrots, mangoes, pumpkin, sweet potato, and cantaloupe are rich in vitamin A. Another immuno-boosting vitamin can be found in milk, egg, cheese, tofu, yogurt, and fortified cereals. Vitamin D. The vitamin is also present in fish such as tin mackerel, tuna, sardine, and salmon. B vitamins are a critical part of the body's red blood cell production. They help to convert food into energy while maintaining healthy body tissues. Banana, sunflower seeds, watermelon, chicken, turkey, goat meat, liver, and red peas are rich in vitamin B. Zinc allows our body's immune cells to function properly while reducing inflammation. Foods rich in zinc include shellfish such as crab, lobster, and mussels. Zinc is also present in peas and beans, nuts, seeds, as well as dark meat including beef and pork. Practicing proper personal hygiene is also an important part of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. That includes regular hand washing and the use of hand sanitizer if water and soap is not available. Sneeze or cough into your elbow or cover with tissue that should be discarded in a bin. Avoid touching your mouth, eyes, or nose. And be sure to practice social distancing. You are your first line of defense against COVID-19. For your health's sake, start practicing good healthy habits today.
We've reached the end of your Jamaica Magazine program, but return tomorrow, round about the same time, right here on this station. If the World Wide Web is more your speed, visit our website, YouTube channel, or our social media pages. We also have a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you to work smart and work safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.